और न्याय हमारे 12 वो सांसद जो बाहर बैठे हैं।
थैंक यू संजय सिंह जी।
बहुत
श्री के नेक्स्ट स्पीकर श्री के.जे. अल्फोंस।
So I rise to support the bill. Sir, I had the great privilege of being part of the pillars of the country's constitution. Number one, as a member of parliament now, formerly as an MLA, and before that as an IAS officer and as a district magistrate, and now as a practicing lawyer, which is delivering administrative justice as promised by the Constitution of India. So, the amendment proposed is so simple. It is only adding an explanation to section 16B and 17B, and therefore we could have passed it in exactly 2 minutes. But then this becomes an opportunity for us to flag issues. I think that's extremely important, that the Parliament has a chance to debate how the judicial system works. I think that's a great opportunity, and therefore I use this opportunity to flag those issues. So, if you look at the history of judiciary, I think it's been such a great protector of the Constitution of India, starting with the famous A.K. Gopalan case in 1951, to Mr. Unnikrishan's case, which talks about what is the right to life. It means the right to live an honorable life. To the Vishaga case, which talks about protecting the dignity of women at workplace. To all these famous Keshav Bharati judgment, which lay down what is the fundamental structure of the Constitution. I think the Supreme Court of India, the High Courts have done a fantastic job. Having said that, sir, let me make a few suggestions, because I think we don't have too much of a time. I just make 11 suggestions, and I shall be very fast. So, number one, I think we need to split the Supreme Court into two. Number one, sir, we can't have a situation in which Supreme Court is hearing appeals under 136, Article 136, writ under 32, cases between states under 131, and also the statutory appeals from various organizations. Sir, we need to have a constitutional bench, split the Supreme Court into two, have a constitutional bench which will deal only with constitutional issues, and have another Supreme Court which will deal only with appeals. So, number one. So, we will reduce the cases, and this is the case with most of the countries in the world. Sir, number two, and of course, along with this, we need to have regional benches for the Supreme Court, one in the south, one in the east, one in the west, and of course, sir, one in the northeast, because that place is too far away, one in the northeast. So we need to have benches of the Supreme Court in all these places. Sir, number two, during the COVID period, we started the system of virtual hearings. And sir, I appeal to the Honorable Minister, please take it up with the Supreme Court, in which you will continue with the dual mode, virtual mode as well as the physical mode for every cases. This will enable the Supreme Court to reach out to all corners of the country and hear the people of India. So today, because people have to come to Delhi, you have to hire a senior lawyer. So today, justice is being delivered much better because we have the virtual mode, and if there is a dual system with virtual mode combined with the physical hearing, sir, things will be much better. Number three, so we need a lot more courts. I don't need to explain this. We need a lot more judges, and don't put the entire blame on the government alone. Look at what the minister has done over the past 6 months. The number of vacancies this minister has filled up, I'm just talking about only this minister, has filled up over the past 6 months. Come on, congratulate. I think this House should honor him and say, this is fantastic, this is the way things must be done. Now, if there are 5,748 vacancies in subordinate courts, please do not blame the minister. These are things which must be taken care of in the state by the high courts and by the administration there. And sir, we need, of course, we need to appoint a lot more judges. And as I suggested earlier, why don't we extend the retirement age? Because today people are very healthy at 65 and 62. Extend the age. And if you can't do that, hire retired judges, hire retired judges for X number of years so that they can dispose of cases quickly. So, we need to create judicial infrastructure a little better. Recently, when I started to resume my practice, I went to the Delhi High Court, and I was amazed to see the kind of infrastructure which the government has created. Sir, we need to create the similar infrastructure right down to the district courts and sub-courts and judicial courts. And so this is not going to cost you a lot of money, but this is going to make the delivery of justice a lot faster. Sir, about the pay of the judges, sir, we've been arguing in this bill regarding when should actually judge get on his 80th birthday. To me, it's very silly. Sir, judges must be paid many times more, multiple times more than what is being paid today, because they should never have a temptation to take a bribe. Never, ever have a temptation. Sir, don't compare with the IAS officers. I was an IAS officer. Don't compare with the ministers. Say, pay them many times more so they will never have the temptation. Sir, why is it some of the most brilliant minds don't go to the judiciary? Why? Why don't they become judges? Here sits a brilliant lawyer next to me, Mahesh Banani. And there are, of course, very many distinguished senior advocates here, Mr. Kapil Sibal, Abhishek Manu Singhvi, Vivek Tanka, Navneet Krishnan, Mr. Tulsi, Mr. Mahesh Banani. I'm sure Ami is also a very good lawyer. All these people are more than qualified enough to become judges in this country, but they would not, because the pay is absolutely ridiculous. Sir, pay them. Sir, most of these lawyers, senior lawyers, make more than ₹1 crore a day on a Monday and a Friday. These are facts. Everybody knows it. Sir, and therefore pay much better. I don't have a problem being from the IAS that judges are paid better, district judges are paid better. I think we should be realistic, say pay them much better. Sir, next point. Sir, post-retirement jobs. Sir, please, give them 75 years. If you want, make it like the United States of America till you die. But sir, please, no post-retirement job, because this is too much of a temptation, sir. Please. Okay? Next point. Judicial appointment. Sir, this House unanimously passed. The Parliament of India unanimously passed legislation saying there must be a Judicial Appointments Commission. Sir, what the Supreme Court has decided is against what is laid out in the Constitution of India. Sir, we must have a system, evolve a system. Yes, the independence of the judiciary must be guaranteed under that system, where nobody will dictate. Evolve a system. Sir, it is possible. As somebody said, this is the only country in which judges appoint judges. I'm not saying this is, some of the judges are brilliant. So one of the persons who is going to be the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of India, his father was a Chief Justice, but he is absolutely brilliant. There are very many brilliant people. But so let's lay down a system which is constitutional, which will guarantee the independence of the judiciary. But I have an objection with Mr. Brattas, what he said. He said government is controlling the judiciary. At the same time, he condemned the Supreme Court, saying, you struck down the Judicial Appointments Act. How can that be? Today, the judiciary is absolutely independent if you look at it that way. But sir, there are issues in a parliamentary democratic system. This is not what the Constitution intended, and therefore we must have a system in which obviously the executive and the judiciary, and evolve a system in which there will be independence. So next point, sir, speed. Sir, recently I mentioned in one of my interventions, yes sir, I was told half an hour, then I was told 10 minutes. Please give me a few more minutes. I'm making valid points. So recently there was a case in Bihar, and I pay tribute to the state of Bihar, in which a POCSO case took place today. The charge sheet was filed the next day, the hearing was held the next day, and the judgment was pronounced next day, and the person went to jail. So let's appreciate what a judge in Bihar has done. Say, can't we replicate this? Why do you say forever I don't have the infrastructure? A faraway district somewhere, a judge is done, sir. We can do it, and we need to do it. We need to speed up process. Sir, break the dominance of certain people in the Supreme Court. And my apologies to Mr. Mahesh Jatmanani sitting here. So today the Supreme Court is dominated by senior advocates. Sir, who can afford a senior lawyer in the Supreme Court or High Court? Who can afford? Can a citizen of India afford that? Is it what the framers of the Constitution really meant? Sir, I think every person, even a new lawyer, should be able to stand up there and argue before the Chief Justice of India, sir. I think we should have such a system. I think we need to break this dominance of the senior lawyers. Sir, they are very important. They are men of wisdom, but I think, sir, we need to have more voices heard in the courts. Sir, protect our judiciary. So recently we had a case of a district judge being murdered. Murdered. I mean, it was very visible on television. He was going on his morning jog and he was knocked down by a vehicle. Sir, they must feel protected. Sir, give them whatever protection is necessary in terms of police forces or whatever. Don't be stingy with the numbers. If somebody feels I need not one, I need two, I need three, sir, please provide them so that they can live without fear. So, two more points. So there must be a National Judicial Commission like the All India Services. So select the best people and please do not dilute the examination like they did for the IAS. So when I got into IAS, and of course some of my colleagues sitting here got into the services, the recruitment age was 24, then 26, so now it is 32, 38. By the time you finish, you are 41, you are already thinking of marriage of your children. Sir, bring about a system and examination which will produce, which will bring in the best people in the country to the judiciary. I think that is salvation. So, my last point. Here, my close friend Manoja talked about tunnels of darkness. Sir, there was a period when India was a tunnel of darkness, the emergency. And so the 42nd Amendment was brought about, by which the preamble of the Constitution, which Mr. Manoja claims is sacred, has been amended. Mr. Manoja and the members of this House, if you are not supporting the emergency, have the courage to take out the co-ops of the 42nd Amendment. I mean, this whole thing about bringing ideology, socialism into this Constitution, why don't we use the word equitable instead of socialism? And Manoja, see, honorable member, you objected. Isn't the word equitable a much better word than socialism?
Please,
equitable, is it not?
Please.
Venom, sir,
Please.
sir,
Please, please,
sir,
please.
sir, another amendment which I propose, sir, access to information. No, I'm sorry, the right to happiness, that is the last one I had proposed among 5. The right to happiness, happiness is gross domestic happiness. Does anybody have objection, sir? I said access to information technology. And all,
Please,
sir, access to,
Please,
Sir,
Sanjay Singh, not
I'm
allowed,
talking.
not allowed, please.
sir, I'm talking,
Please. Mr. Manoj Jha, a point of order, please.
okay.
Order, sir, very small one. Thank you. Honorable. 110, sir. 110. There was a ruling 2 days back from the chair, sir. One of the vice chairmen, the panelist, he was sitting here and he said, on any discussion on any bill, I think, please understand, there was Janata Party government after 1977. Many things were withdrawn from 42nd Amendment, but not socialism and secularism.
Please,
Even Atalji
please,
and Vajpayee
point
ji,
of order.
Advani ji did not agree. That's it, sir.
पॉइंट ऑफ ऑर्डर 110 के तहत माननीय सदस्य विषय पर बोलें और ये सारे सदस्यों से मेरी अपील है कि विषय पर ही बोलिए। ये जजेस के पेंशन का विषय है, बाकी इश्यूज भी आपने रखा, ठीक है, लेकिन इस पर बोलिए ये विषय प्लीज।
Thank you, Chairman, sir.
Please, continue.
I'm not deviating, Chairman, sir.
ये सबके लिए applicable है।
I'm not deviating, Chairman, sir, 1 inch from whatever is a bill which will be discussed, which is judicial justice being practiced in India, Constitution, and that is exactly what the judiciary is protecting. Sir, access to information technology and all its implications, irrespective of caste, creed, social status or income. Sir,
Please.
Sir,
Please.
and I won't go to you. Last one. Instead of equality of status and opportunity, the following to be substituted. Equality of status and opportunity. To be born, to be fed, to be educated, to get a job, and to be treated with dignity.
Thank you.
Sir, who has an objection, sir?
Thank you.
I don't
Thank you,
understand.
Commissioner. Thank you.
Sir, and therefore, sir,
Thank
I
you.
strongly support this bill.
Thank you.